The board to order from our recessed meeting that we had, so we get back in here. Okay. The first thing we need to do is we're here to discuss the sale to a plant down in Cumberland City, and with that, what do we need to do? We need approval on going with the two motions, right?
I'm sorry.
For Sig Glass.
We've got two things, and I think we need to let, you might want to let Mark explain what he has for us to sign.
Okay.
And then if the board has any questions, I've reviewed all of them. If they have questions, I can answer those, try to answer anything that you have.
You want me to just briefly explain?
Yeah,
Yes.
you will
Come
explain.
on up and tell us what you've got.
She needs a mic.
No, I can talk loud. I'm fine.
Is that gonna pick
You don't
up
hear me
on
okay? Good. Great to see all you guys again. I didn't wear a tie, coat and tie this time. Hope you don't mind. You all taught me.
All right.
Yeah, I'm a slow learner. The two things that we're asking you all to approve, just one resolution, but it covers it both. One, as we talked about, you know, you all have the right, if they don't ever start work on this expansion, you all have the right to get the property back, right? And so it doesn't make sense to do the pilot lease now until they get ready to start work, because, and they're planning, you can ask them, they're sitting right there, they're planning on starting work, but they won't be for a little while because they got to finish the design work. So it didn't make sense to do the pilot work now, but they need to know, because it's part of the incentive, that they're going to have it. So what's in front of you all today is an agreement saying, yes, when they're ready to break ground and start work, we'll do the pilot for them. And so that's what they can, it's a short agreement, and attached to it is a form of the pilot lease that I went over with Sid, and I've gone over it with the lawyers back in St. Louis for the company. And basically, it's your sort of standard pilot lease for the land and equipment. It provides for their whole program that they're planning on doing there, and we use the same, I call them clawbacks. A lot of people do that. The state has in their accountability agreement. So we just tied it to what the job creation that the state, remember, is giving them $575,000. There's an accountability agreement. There'll be 2 grant agreements that go along with that state grant. They run that through the IDB. They do that because they want the state a number of years ago, and I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, decided that they couldn't just grant money directly to companies like CIG. They have to run it through public entities, and so that's why you all get $575 and you turn around and give it to them when they meet the requirements. And so the state wants their documents, particularly they want this accountability agreement so they can go to the state funding board and say, hey, CIG's agreed to this 107 jobs, we'll give them the money. But the same thing with your pilot, there's going to be a clawback. And just as a reminder, though, these guys are going to start somewhat, you know, they're going to do this first expansion. There'll be some jobs there. I drove by there actually on the way over here. They're parking in the grass right now, so they better expand because they've got a lot going on. And then they'll come back with a second expansion is the game plan. So, you know, obviously they're part of this big, huge conglomerate. Ultimately, Panasonic is in the background, but then you got Hussman and you got them, and obviously they've been part of the community for a while. And so this is, I was telling Sid, this seems, I do a lot of this stuff often on you guys' side. The 7-year pilot is very, you know, you've got a good program here. It's right in the middle of the road, and I hope, you know, again, obviously we're asking you all to apply it to this project and the 2 expansions that they're planning, and you know, trying to draft reasonable documents. So the resolution would authorize 2 things: signing the pilot agreement, and then secondly, authorizing, and this one's not quite as much of a hurry, but they're anxious to get it, the state accountability agreement, and once we get them, the related grant documents where they actually give the money. So I don't know, Rob, Ken, do you have anything to add in terms of timing or anything? Or Sid, do you have questions? Any of y'all have questions? They're glad to answer them. Yeah.
Mark, could you explain that clawback and how it's connected to the jobs?
Yes.
Because they haven't seen the accountability agreement, and I've just seen the letter that tells what they're going to have to sign, or what we're going to have to sign later and the accountability. Can you explain that?
Yeah, and the state gives them some latitude on when you measure the job creation, and here, I mean, they're gonna have a construction period, probably about a year or so, but correct me again if I'm wrong, 1 year, Rob's agreeing with me, and so basically what the state says, we'll give you 5 years to ramp up to that full 107. Once you get to the end of that, we're gonna look the next 3 years, and we're gonna average them. And if you don't hit that average of 107 new jobs that period, you gotta give us part of your grant back. If you don't hit 50%, then you have to give the whole grant back. And so, you know, they're gonna create new jobs, but the first few years will be ramp up period, and then they're gonna have bigger jobs. And so what I tried to do, and they're concerned obviously, is that they don't wanna have this long ongoing liability, but so what the draft pilot at least does, and it's when once they would have done all their expansions, that they would claw back 2 years of pilot payments in terms of, in other words, 2 years of the in lieu of payments for the amount that they miss based on the same percentage that the state's using. So if you get to that end of that period and they miss it, it would result in a clawback of some of the pilot payments based on the thing. And so, you know, they can't, and Sid and I've talked a lot about this, guaranteeing job, I mean, you just can't. I mean, if you want to play games with people, you could hire people at the end of the year for 1 day and claim to do it. There's a lot of games you're playing. They're not going to do that, obviously, but you know, there's cyclical stuff and, you know, things they do, but they wouldn't be here building, you know, adding a building, buying a parcel from you all and doing that unless they obviously had confidence they would grow. But, you know, we thought the fairest thing and the easiest thing would be to tie it to the state thing so that you all had just one standard for these guys. And I know y'all had some problems with some other, you know, folks on these things, but these guys have been here, what, 18 years, you told me, Rob? And they've already got, I mean, just if you look at the tax rolls, their building's a $2 million building just on the tax rolls already in the county. And then I'm sure you've got probably a few $1 million of equipment on top of that. So you've got a, you know, somebody's been in here in the community a long time, already hiring, you know, about 100 employees, and, you know, so, you know, I hope that you all feel comfortable with them, and I know that many of you all know Ken, he's been around for a while. Sorry, Ken, you look kind of old there, but the thing, so, but, yeah, and so, you know, this is, I hope a good project for you all, and I think you have a lovely industrial park. I came through Cumberland City this time so I could see it, so thank you for letting me be here again. So, any other questions? Sid, does that cover it?
I think so.
Great.
Some of the board may have questions about that, about how that'll work with the taxes.
Questions from the board? Now's the time to ask.
If you can, I'll just say that I've been here, and some of y'all have too, that had a good relationship way back when this building was built, and Sig came here with Jeff Winsler. He used to come to all our meetings, and when he was in town, he came up from Florida to be with us, and so our connection with them goes way back, and they've always honored everything they've done with us before. And the agreement that we have, that we're going to have, is only as good as the other party in it, and so. You know, just from my viewpoint, I see them as honorable people that'll be, you know, honoring our contract and doing what they're supposed to do.
A valuable member of the industrial park.
Yep.
Okay, we need a motion to accept these, right?
Yes.
There should have been a resolution. Did you get that, Sid? So it's just basically a resolution. If we can, maybe you can just put in the minutes as saying basically the two things that you you as chair can sign this pilot agreement and then this accountability agreement.
I'm not sure. I can't lay my hands on that right now.
Yeah, I give you a copy if you want to.
Okay.
You got a copy of it?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't bring 10. I did last time.
While they're getting the resolution, I'm going to ask for a motion from the board for us to accept the Siglass proposals. So can we have a motion for that, please? I have a motion that we accept the proposal as presented from Siglass with the industrial board. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second on that. Any discussion from the board members? Hearing none, all of those in favor, let me know by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, gentlemen. I will sign the documents for that, as well.
Resolution, you're gonna flip to the next page, and that's the resolution to do what you just did. We'll put that in the minutes and buy a copy of that.
Yeah. Closes at 10 tomorrow, right? So get in the land, closes tomorrow at 10, and then
Yep.
they're gonna get to work.
I did that right. We're doing both. That's on the top
Okay,
line.
you gotta sign the top one, too.
Okay, there's the resolution.
Madam Secretary.
So I will meet, tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, and I'll sign the former papers, for the approval of this as well. And, okay, that's all we got for signalized, isn't it?
That's it, and we'll, have, the net proceeds from the, sale of the property will, go into the ID board account, and I'll deliver a check tomorrow to Renee for that. And, then at some point, when they start building the building, there'll be other documents and all that we have to do, but this is started, and this property sold.
Okay, that's moving along. Appreciate it. We look forward to the debate.
Thank you.
We do have two other items of business that we need to address, and first, we're gonna have an update on Dayton.
Dejan, you know, they were sent a, letter that they'd be in default, they didn't provide us with insurance by a certain date, which I believe is about the 25th of August, to show that we were, insured. And, so anyway, yesterday I got, an email that, had, copies of documents in it, and, one of the documents is an executed contract, with a contractor. So they've hired a contractor to finish the building. I believe it's $2 million and something worth of more work they're gonna do to finish the building and the expansion. And, with that, there's, insurance coverage that goes with that contract. And, reviewing it, it didn't show the ID board as named insured like we had anticipated. So, Chris Cravens, reviewed it also and sent an email to, Dejan's lawyer, and, she's working on that, and I haven't seen that yet, but she says there are, signed documents naming the board as, an insured, and, she's gonna get that to us, so she still has several more days. I anticipate they'll get all that to us, and, we'll just go right on. They'll finish their building. Their, anticipated, date of completion on that is I think it's the 9th of January. So, who knows? But, that's what the paperwork shows, and, we'll stay on top of it, and, make sure that we get all the proper documentation, showing specifically that the ID board is a named insured. So, that's where we are on Dejan.
So that's a positive outlook. Any questions on that? Don, I have another item, and that is concerning a site development grant. And I have a number of pieces of paper to hand out to you. You already got it? Do all of you have the grant? Okay, great. Okay, to go along with that, I also have a copy of a plat in there. And let's take one and pass that around.
I'll take one of those, we have one left over.
Yeah, so I'll get you mine anyway. I'll give you all mine. This is the big one.
Okay, looking at the site development grant, the opportunity presented itself in which that the GNRC called and asked if we were interested in any type of increasing the size of the industrial park and doing some other work that's in there. And that's the grant that you have in front of you. And the eligible applicants here is a governmental entity, but it's with the industrial board. Now, looking at this, there were a couple of pieces of property that might have applied, one in which that half of the acreage would have been in the flood zone, and so that ruled it out. You cannot have, and the grant would not cover anything in the flood zone. The other piece of property is directly across the Highway 149 from the industrial park. And the nice thing about this, this particular grant is that it's a 95-5, in which that 95% of whatever the asking price would be for the property would be paid for. We would be responsible for 5. Well, that's only that part, but then the other piece of that is that because we're tier 3 and others, then half of that is gone. So the cost to the board will end up only being 2.5% of the total price. The end of last week, I had the opportunity and met with the Moore Construction and the Moores that own the property next to Southern Service out there that fronts directly on 149, and then it's got the second tier there, and then all up on the top as well. It's a 92-acre facility or piece of land that is there. And in looking at that, we asked Mr. Moore if he would go back and give us a price for the particular land that is in there. And I received a reply about the middle of this afternoon. And what he has asked at this point, and I'm going to round it off because I'm going to ask for that difference, is that he will sell the property for $14,000 an acre. And therefore, 92 acres is roughly 1.2 something, or roughly 1.3 million for the purchase. In that, GNRC has also agreed that they will write the grant for us. And by doing that, that really helps us out a great deal. We will have to pay a fee to them for this, but I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Mayor, the price for the courthouse was only like about $9,000.
90,000. It's 4%.
4% of the price.
4%, but they build it in the grant.
Right.
It's put in the grant. It's 4% of whatever you ask. If you ask for $3 million, it's going to cost you $120,000, but they put it in the grant.
So you can see
They
that.
do all the work.
Yeah, they do all the work for us on this. And it also helps that they're going to write it because they're going to be part of the evaluating group that looks at this. Some of the things that comes up with this as well, and these are the, here's another list. Eligible activities is they will purchase the property, right-of-way easements, be done. They'll pay for the legal fees, vegetation clearing that we might need, any grading or whatever else we need to improve and do drainage improvement, any retention of drainage ponds, etc., that we don't have any on the property. And they will do for studies if we need as well. So in looking at what's there at the present time, this is something that I think we need to seriously consider moving forward on. We can add 92 acres to the industrial park. We can then lay it off. We know we've got at least I think two areas right off of 149 that could be used very quickly, and then we could work with the next tiers that are going up. This grant will also be up again next year, and we might come back and we might ask them, can we do this? Will you build a building? Will you help with the road, with these types of things? But for right now, gaining 92 acres to add to the industrial park is something I don't think we can go, but I'm laying it out here for you to tell me what to do. If you wish for us to move forward on this with the grant, knowing that out of, I'll round it out to 1.4, we're probably looking at no more than, out of our count, maybe $15,000, 15 to 20 will be our total expenditure. And I mean, that's just something you can't hardly go from. Even if we double it to 30,000, it's still a cheap investment to gain the 92 acres that are adjacent to the park itself. Floor is open. I'd like to hear your comments, and if you have any concerns or what you think we should move with right now. I do have to know tonight, I've got to let the lady know first thing in the morning.
I got one question I thought of just looking at the
Okay.
satellite image, and this is just FYI. I'm just asking for FYI. Just, where's the county line and city limits in respect to the footprint on this?
The entire piece of property is actually in Houston County, and don't take me wrong, this is actually a benefit because Houston County is a tier 4, meaning that we're 95.5. If we were over in Stewart County, then we would have to do a 70-30. So by virtue of the land being in Houston County, we get the additional breaks that come with that as well.
And city limit is not near this?
I think it's outside of,
Oh, well, makes sense.
yeah.
Is most all the land usable land?
There's the two, I think there's two, we could make it one big lot right off of 149 before you get to Sudden Service. There's a second tier of land that could be worked in there. And then the mayor decided he'd ride to the top of the land last week and take a look at it. And there's flat places on top. There's probably also another 40 plus acres up there of marketable timber as well. And so listening to people that know, to say if we let it sit for 5 years, it would more than pay for what we're talking about doing. But the thing here is that there's no more land around us, and if we want to expand the park at some time in the future, this is a inexpensive way for us to do it.
I think it's an incredibly fair asking price. For the circumstances. I mean, we could say, well, we don't need it, and then, wait, we do need it and have to give double or more for something at some point. So, I mean, with today's market, that's not much of a premium over any other land sale.
Right.
That's very fair right there. That's my opinion.
I make a motion we move forward.
Okay, I have a motion to move forward, but do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Now we have discussion and questions by our attorney.
Okay, now, just a point of comment, this is, if you're adding it to the industrial park, the industrial park was purchased by the two counties together, property in Houston County, property in Stewart County. This is the ID board, and this won't be shipboard property. It won't be part of that that's subject to Stewart-Houston Industrial Park Board. This will be, if you buy this, it would be in the Industrial Development Board, which is this board. So that would be, that's not one of the, I mean, they're handled differently, you know,
Right.
when you sell, property in the shipboard property, which we have in the past, then, you know, there's a tax sharing agreement on that, so that properties in the Stewart-Houston Industrial Park, and it brings in property taxes to Houston County. We split that with Stewart County. This is gonna be, if you do it through this board, that, none of that will apply. This would be, just be ID board property. So, so this would, I just want to clarify, that's what you plan to do. Am I correct? You want to have it through the shipboard, I mean, through the industrial development?
That's the way it will be now, yes.
Okay. So that's what you'll be doing. So, there is a difference in the two entities.
Yeah, so there's some details we're gonna have to work out.
Yeah, because if you decide to buy this as part of the shipboard, you're gonna have to get resolutions from both counties and money from both counties. If you do it through the ID board, this board can do it.
Okay, we have the money to do it, so. Okay,
Yeah, I just wanted to point that out, that this will be, it won't be part of the shipboard property.
The tax will still be split between the counties, is that correct?
No,
It won't be?
there won't, if the ID board buys it, it won't be taxable property. The ID board doesn't pay taxes.
But I mean, the county split the tax off the businesses, is that correct? If a business locates there, will your county still split it?
No,
No,
not
it'd
through
be
the
all-
ID board. It'll be,
It'll be all Houston.
it'll be ID board property, no, it'll be ID board money, anything that happens. Now if you sell some in the future, that'll be taxable to whoever you sell it to. And, you know, if it comes into Houston County, it'll be Houston County taxes. It'll be Stewart County.
even if we include it as part of the industrial park?
You
Ship's
have-
gonna have to buy it, gonna do that.
You have to do some things to do that, but you have to make deeds.
What was your comment, Mark? I didn't hear what you said.
Shipboard's gonna have to buy it if both counties split the proceeds.
Which, but the grant comes just for the ID one, the grant.
The grant.
So, would it be reasonable to acquire property with the ID board and then work out the details for agreements with the shipboard, or you know how we transfer it over when someone wants to purchase property?
I think there's some details we're gonna have to work out, and I think you're right. We probably need to go back, I think we need to move ahead with the buy. But then I think we need to come to an agreement as to how we'll deal with the property once it's sold for a business or whatever.
You can always do that. You can make whatever agreements you want to. But if you don't do anything except get a deed to it, the taxes won't be shared.
Okay.
Sid, I didn't hear that. Could you repeat what you just said?
If you don't do anything except get a deed to it and then sell it off, the property taxes are not gonna be shared.
And later on, and that property being transferred over to the shipboard, and then we can make whatever agreement we want from the ID board.
I assume you
Can make-
could transfer all of it to the two counties if you wanted to.
So that's what I'm saying, one, ID board buys it now, later on down the road, can it be transferred into the shipboard?
As far as I know, it could. I don't know of any reason why it couldn't be.
Miss Napoli is the lady that works for GNRC. She's the one that's doing the grant. And it is for industrial park. But she told me today that she will come the 28th to y'all's meeting, and she'll answer questions and try to get you up to date, and that'd be a question we could ask her about. I'd like to see both counties benefit from it.
Well, yeah.
I think that whatever we end up doing, we buy it now, but with the understanding, since we're all here, that at some point that we have a document that says that if we sell to a business, that both counties receive equally in the shared profits or whatever the conditions are, just like we do with the Sig Glass sale in there. So both counties benefit from this.
Right.
Will the application have to be filed by the industrial board?
It will be from the industrial board.
And there may be stipulations in that grant and conditions about how you use what you get. We don't know that yet. We'll have to find that out. Those are big questions she can answer.
Yeah, we'll learn a lot more from her on the 28th.
What do you need tonight?
I need approval to go ahead and do a letter of interest that we want to be involved with the grant.
I'll make that motion.
Oh, we already have a motion
Oh,
on the
I'm sorry.
floor and then a second. Yeah.
Did you get the paper, did I give you the paper where it showed her fees?
No.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're in discussion now.
Fee, letter of intent, and then the 4% for the grant.
Oh, yeah,
I
that's,
thought I gave you that.
yeah, that's in this one.
Okay.
can't beat.
I just want to make sure you knew the 1,500.
Yeah, the dates are in the item that you have here. The application date, et cetera, the letter of intent, and that has to be by the 21st. And then moves forward very quickly. They're looking at awarding this in December of this year.
It needs to be on the road, doesn't it?
Yeah. So it's going to have to be moved very, very quickly.
And according to Mr. Moore, Ray, he feels they will hold the land to December for the park.
Well, I just feel like, when you don't get that opportunity much right here. And, I think we need to move on it, but, and then work out in other down the road, I guess,
If you look at your price of $1.3 million, it's gonna cost your industrial board about $32,500.
Right,
That's pretty cheap land for 92 acres.
right.
It hasn't been that in a long time, for sure. Other questions, though?
The motion still stands.
Yeah, the motion's second there. I'm gonna go. Vicki, you have any more questions about it? Randall? Phil?
No.
Ray? The rest of us? Okay, all in favor, let me know by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, we'll move forward and cross our fingers, and hopefully we can add 92 acres to the industrial park at a very minimal cost. Does anyone have anything else they would like to bring up? I think we got some pretty good news. This is a great thing. David now appears to be moving back again, so if not, motion to adjourn.
So
Motion is second to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Thank you, thank you.
That's good news, isn't it?
It is. They are. Okay.
Can you sign these for me?
I sure will.
Thank you. Mr. Renee, how are you? Good, how are you?
Yes, I'm Mark. Are you Mark too?
Bye.
Did you get a copy of everything?
Well, that's what I was getting. I was picking up the extras.
You can have mine too.
Okay, thank you. I was picking up the extras, so I'd have the list because I didn't get the list.